Hey guys, Hybrid Tour Reviews here with a Star Wars The Black Series Artillery Stormtrooper. I'm sorry to interrupt the video that you were about to watch, but I just had to tell you a little bit about this guy. He is the prize to whoever's lucky enough to win him once the channel crosses 1,000 subscribers. We're very nearly there, so if you're not subscribed, click subscribe down below and wait until I cross 1,000 subscribers and I'll upload a video telling you how you guys can enter to win this guy. He's a super cool figure, and I think whoever wins him is going to be very, very happy with him. Anyway, I'm going to let you get back to your video. Thanks a bunch for hearing me out on this, and I hope you enjoy the upcoming video. Bye! Hey everyone, Hybrid Tour Reviews here, wanting to take a look at this Star Wars Clone Wars ARC Trooper from the 2003 Tarkovsky Clone Wars miniseries. Not a series that I've really watched. I mean, I've seen it. I'm more of a 3D Clone Wars guy, but this ARC Trooper figure just looked too cool to pass up on, and he did have a good bit in the show. Just not a super heavy screen presence, but he was cool. So I figured I would add him to the collection, and because I'm adding him to the collection, we all get to take a look. I know it's super late, but Walmart still really hasn't thoroughly stocked these, but you can get them pretty consistently from third-party sellers on both Walmart's website and Amazon, which is weird that Walmart would allow a third-party seller to sell a Walmart exclusive on their own website. But anyway, on Walmart's website, you can get it from a third-party seller, or on Amazon from a third-party seller for about $30 to $32, which, when you have Amazon Prime, which means your shipping is included, that's basically the cost from Walmart with shipping. So you're doing pretty good. That's where I got mine, was from Amazon. So go ahead and check that out. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into our review. You guys know the drill. Before we get into the actual review, we're going to take a look at the packaging, should you be the type of person to keep this on card. I have no attachment to this packaging, but I do know that this is what all of the retro Clone Wars figures came in. So it's a big white backdrop with the clone helmet up here on the shoulder, on the upper left. Got a Star Wars logo as part of the 50th Lucasfilm line, even though it came out basically a year after the 50th anniversary. Get a big bubble glued on. Mine does have a little bit of a crush up here, but it ain't no big thing. Got Clone Wars written down the side there. You get a big window showing the trooper and his accessories off nicely with an explosion going on behind him. Get a picture of the artwork from the original packaging. Very stylized. I don't really care for the big, like muzzled, blaster pistols. You get ARC Trooper down here and a warning over there. He's not a named one. He's just a red ARC Trooper. Around back, you got your Clone Wars logo, ARC Trooper, another picture of him, some concept arts from the show, and then a bio in varying languages. Pause and read whichever language works best for you. Got a Lucasfilm timeline, and then a bunch of legalese with more barcode and legalese underneath, barcode underneath this barcode sticker from Amazon. So, pretty cool retro packaging. Not one that I'm super attached with. You show me that Clone Trooper helmet, 3D Clone Wars movie packaging like the Target exclusives, and you get me going. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this off card, and we'll take a look at what we got here. Alright, I think we all know the drill at this point. We're going to start by taking a look at the accessories. So, he comes with a lot of standard Clone Trooper weapons. He features the black long rifle, which turned out really good. I do like the look of this accessory. No paint, just in black, which normally would bug me. But in this animated style, the guns were just black. They didn't really have anything like in the cartoon on them. No paint or colors or nothing. So I think black works. Same with the regular Clone Trooper rifle, which looks good. The shorter rifle. And then he features the two, as I launch one off the table, the two like clone commando, ARC Trooper or Captain pistols. They look very nice as well. I do like how these have turned out. Very nice black plastic to them. One thing that I do not like is he features, this is one I do like, is he features two working holsters, but he only features one trigger finger being on his right hand. So it works well in the right hand. On the left hand, in the box, they have it posed with no trigger finger in the trigger finger hole. And I'm going to show you a fix for that. And I'm going to bitch about it while I fix it. So, this is an X-Acto knife. Be very careful when using this. Use your X-Acto knife and cut a slit. Basically, they have sculpt between all the fingers here. Let me change my lighting here to maybe show that off a little bit better. It features a sculpt between every finger here. You just have to basically slice the fingers apart while not slicing your own finger. Here you go. So now this index finger is separate from the hand. And while it is not raised into a trigger position, you can then put the gun in his hand and work that finger into the trigger hole, and it does work as a trigger finger. Hasbro, I should not have to be doing that on these Clone Troopers. You have released enough Clone Trooper figures that come with dual-wielding pistols. Look at Wolf, Rex. Did Bly have pistols? I'm sure Bly had pistols. I'm looking at my shelf right now. And then you think about Echo and how we're getting Jesse soon. And one day they'll quit beating around the bush and make 5s. And every one I have had to cut a second trigger finger on because they won't just mirror that sculpt. Whoever designed this figure at Hasbro, I hope after your long day at work, you didn't go home and tell your wife, I'm proud of what I did at work today, because that is garbage. I shouldn't have to do that. All right, mini rant aside, I hope your wife's disappointed in you. If I was your wife, I'd divorce you for having that work quality there. In all seriousness, though, it's a pretty solid figure objectively. Otherwise, looking at the figure, there's very little new about it. This is basically straight reuse of Echo from the Clone Wars retro packaging line instead of Clone Wars retro line, which does feature some inaccuracies. Pretty much the only new thing going on here is the helmet. And I do like it, although I do have a little paint blemish on the forehead with a little scuff on that red stripe and then a little smear. It's very hazy just over to the side there. Not crazy on that, but the rest of the paint on the face looks really good. I really like that black rangefinder with the white tip on it, and it actually does articulate. So you can lower it down in front of his face. One thing I've seen people say is that this is the first removable helmet Phase 1 helmet they've done, which kind of opens the door for potential of like a Clone Wars Phase 1 Captain Rex or something, which I think would be pretty cool. One of the gripes that people have with this figure is because it uses the Echo shoulder armor, which is nice that it features the double shoulder pad, but it gives you this chest plate, which is really inaccurate, and also glued on very crooked on mine, so that might be something worth fixing. Something I've thought about is maybe just unpeeling that chest plate and then cutting it across the gray and underneath, but then I'd have to find some new way to glue this pack on, because it, you see here, there's like a little tab in there. They've sculpted it to be interchangeable. And another gripe there also is, at that point, why didn't they put it on the left side instead of just copying the Echo on the right side position? So there's some gripes to be had there. Another inaccuracy, if you look at the figure or the picture, he just basically is in regular clone armor with the skirt and the shoulder pads, meaning the Clone Wars 3D ARC Trooper boot shin guards is rather inaccurate for this figure as well. But the rest of the guy is pretty close. He doesn't really have the bulky gauntlets in the 2D show. But honestly, I do kind of like the look. I do think it makes him look more like a traditional ARC Trooper. I'm not infatuated with the 2D show, so, it doesn't really bother me too terribly much. But they are inaccuracies, and if you're a nut for that show, then I think you would like to at least know. So, backpack looks very good. It's like a black plastic with like a gunmetal, kind of like a paint over certain areas, just make it look metallic. And it's rather good looking. I gotta say, it's subjectively a very fine figure, just there are inaccuracies, so it's not like a great representation, but it's still a fine action figure. To shift my lights to the side and also kick my tripod, because that's the kind of channel we are. Let me go ahead and run through some articulation for you. You're probably familiar with a lot of this articulation if you have the other ARC Troopers or just modern Clone Troopers, because a lot of the body is the same. It features a double barbell neck, but honestly, the shoulder pads kind of get in the way of a lot of it. That is as high up as he can look, and you can even see a little bit of the skin tone head underneath. Not a removable helmet, but they've actually, instead of doing white plastic, they've done tan, so that's kind of nice. You can bury his chin, so that's your up and down. It's not great. You do get some side to side, and your rotation is pretty good. The arms can come that high up, which is alright, and they could 360 if the shoulder bells were not in the way. There's a nice butterfly joint in there, though. A good range on that. Single jointed elbows, I can go that high up and rotate, 360 on the wrist, with the left one hinging in and out, and the right one hinging up and down. A mid-torso ball joint allowing them to crunch that far forward, that far back, get some good side-to-side pivot and rotation. his legs can kick that far apart, which isn't bad for the heavy plastic skirt going on. And then the legs can kick that far forward, tiny little bit back. There's an upper thigh rotation. Single jointed knees. Now this knee was like stuck, and when I unstuck it, it lost a lot of the glue in there. So that's not very good looking on mine, but I think that's just a quality thing on mine. It can bend way past 90 degrees though. Rotate at the knee. His feet can point that far down, which is pretty good. A little bit forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing for some pretty okay wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. Pretty standard, good Clone Trooper articulation. For some comparisons, how about the Gaming Greats Rocket Trooper, which I use as a double for a regular Stormtrooper for my reviews going forward, and it's labeled as Phantom Menace, but it'll work for Clone Wars, the Battle Droid, who stands slightly taller, and I feel that's rather accurate. So, sizes pretty well with a standard 6-inch human size for the line, and I'm rather happy with it. So, end of the day, what do I think of the Clone Wars ARC Trooper? Honestly, I don't hate it. I know some people aren't super happy with it, but for what it is, I'm viewing it as a fun, if inaccurate, figure. I'm upset about the wrong left hand, but that's just a Clone Trooper standard at this point. He articulates well. He looks cool. He has a nice presence on the shelf. And I'm just going to throw him in as an unnamed commander type, you know. He's going to end up on a Clone Wars shelf somewhere, and maybe I'll put him somewhere near my Delta Squad. That might be a good way to display him. But yeah, I mean, I personally like him. I understand some of you aren't going to like the inaccuracies, and that's totally fine. I consider this one a non-essential pickup, but if you pick him up, I think you're going to be pretty content and have a pretty cool figure. So this one's ambiguous. I recommend it, but I get it if you don't get it. So I'm going to go. Thanks a bunch for watching. Why don't you leave a like and comment, and as you saw in the beginning of the video, at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away the artillery stormtrooper. So how about you subscribe, and then when I hit 1,000, I'm going to put up a video just saying, hey, I've hit 1,000, so comment down below, and I'll do a random comment generator to then give you your winner. So we will be doing that hopefully sooner than later. That's what I gotta say. So thanks a bunch for watching. It means a lot that you did. And until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you. Bye.